Good afternoon and welcome back to Teacher Tip Tuesday. I'm Clara Galan, Content Marketing Manager and former teacher here at Remind, and I'm looking forward to our 15th Teacher Tip Tuesday. So for those of you who are just tuning in, Teacher Tip Tuesday is a 5-minute professional development series in which we interview educators internationally to discuss innovative and creative classroom practices and communication strategies and share their ideas with the Global Professional Learning Network. So today I'm really excited to be joined by Kelly Rexine, who is a K-12 IT specialist and founder of ND EdChat, so that's North Dakota EdChat. Hi Kelly, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself. How long have you been working with edutech?
This is my 3rd year with edutech, and before that I taught 3rd grade for 3 years. So just kind of got in the education after high school, got within, actually I started in respiratory therapy and decided that is not what I want to do. I did not want to go and did not want to work in a hospital. So I decided let's try education, and realistically I started in education because hey, I got three months off, and it was literally the best immature decision I've ever made, because I can't imagine doing anything else than working with teachers and students.
That's great. It sounds like your education experience in the classroom kind of really helped to shape some of your strategies at edutech.
Definitely, yeah. I was always kind of integrating technology. I always kind of had something going on. I did, Tuesday mornings. I always had teachers coming in from my building. Can I help you with something? Just kind of like a support, little tech support Tuesday. And yeah, so I just kind of this is a great job that I can get out to everybody in the state of North Dakota and kind of be that support and help them drive instruction or technology instruction in their curriculum. So.
That's awesome. That sounds like it's a really helpful background. So what's one innovative practice, activity, or strategy that you've been trying out with the different teachers you've been working with?
There's a lot of tools, and I know this is, but I always kind of push remind, and once the teachers see it, remind, and then now remind's even getting more and more popular. If I mention it, you're like, oh, we know what that is. I'm using that already. So, but usually that's a kind of a big hit, and remind's always a big hit. Student blogging is a really big hit too. A lot of people use KidBlog, or if we're talking with secondary teachers, it's usually Blogger or WordPress or something like that. It really gives a chance for a student to show their work, kind of thing. And I'm big about showing your work, because I think teachers and students are doing great things within the classroom. And if we're not showing that work, it's just kind of sitting there, and now only the 25, 30 kids and the teacher within those 4 walls see it. So I think if we always kind of, I help with a lot with blogging and showing that work and getting that work outside to other people. And then also, just not on blog, but starting a Twitter handle and get that out, and, Skyping and doing hangouts with other professionals, so we're taking virtual field trips kind of thing. So yeah, it's been good.
Those all sound like really great ways to stay connected to, different teachers and with your colleagues as well. I love that idea of being able to have a profile of all the different work that teachers and students have done. I think it's great to have like KidBlog, like you mentioned, and really making this digital portfolio. Because so many times it's focused on assessment and other different sorts of test scores. So I'm really glad that you're able to show that kind of digital profile with KidBlog, and hopefully with Remind too, since you can send photos home to students and parents. So speaking of Remind, what's one particular way you've used that's made an impact on the teachers you've worked with?
Well, I would say the first, and when we came back from ISTE last year, I kind of had the idea of how let's use Remind to, and you already brought it up. We I moderate an ND EdChat, hashtag ND EdChat, on Wednesday nights at 9. And I did a couple things. I started emailing people or texting them, or even mentioning their name on Twitter. And it was always kind of a hassle, and then I didn't know if people really wanted to be notified that way. So I thought, let's use Remind for this. And now we have a bunch of people that want to be notified every Wednesday, half an hour before Wednesday nights at 9. And now they get that text or that notification on their app, and then they can jump in and remember. It just sends them a little reminder that, hey, that Indie Ed Chat's tonight. So that's why I've been using. Like I said, I've used it within the classroom too. It was 3 years ago, so it was just kind of text at that point, but it worked well. Like I said, I always mention it to teachers when I'm out in schools and districts like that. So yeah, definitely, it's worked perfectly for Indie Ed Chat, and I think more and more Ed Chats have taken this approach to notify their participants in their Ed Chat. So yeah.
Yeah, Kelly, I will say, I think you've started a movement completely. There are so many different education Twitter chats that have been using Remind to send out these last minute notices of like what the content is for the week. But not only that, but to also send topics ahead of time, or to use stamps to have people vote on topics. So I remember when we talked about that at ISTE last year, and it was such an exciting idea. So I'm really excited that other people have been using it for different Twitter chats. Speaking of that, do you have any tips for people that are starting to use Remind, nationwide or worldwide? Since you can have an unlimited amount of subscribers on a class, it's a really great way to stay connected. So do you have any tips on like how many messages you're sending a week, or like what type of content you're sending to Indie Ed Chat?
Yeah, well, with Indie Ed Chat, we basically just send a reminder every, either it's an hour or half an hour before the chat, so they get that notification. Oh yeah, if they're laying in bed, now they can chat on their phone or that kind of thing. So, but yeah, as a parent, hopefully my teachers, my daughter and son, their teachers are going to use it, and more is better. I feel like more is better. Anytime I think as a parent and as a teacher, you have to have that communication piece, and I think Remind does it just perfectly. So more messages, the better. And if I have to send Eli $5 on his field trip tomorrow, I need to know, and if he doesn't tell me, that it's just a great venue to do that. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing those really helpful tips. It looks like we're running out of time, but I wanted to thank you, Kelly, so much for joining us. For those who are getting in touch, that would like to get in touch via Twitter, how can they contact you?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is right below this way, yeah, at Mr. Rexine. And I actually put in the little bit.ly, so bit.ly /Indie Ed Chat, and you can check out our Google community there. And you can get all the upcoming questions. We always post the upcoming questions. This week, Wednesday, we're doing activities. We kind of got creative, and then we're kind of smashing those apps together, and what kind of activities along with apps do you use within the classroom. So please join us in 9.
Awesome. So thanks so much for tuning in this Tuesday, and thank you again to Kelly. I really recommend tuning in to Indie Ed Chat and participating. It's a really great Twitter chat. If you have any questions about this interview, you can tweet at us. We are at RemindHQ on Twitter, or on Facebook at facebook.com/RemindHQ. And be sure to include the hashtag Teach2, so that's TEACHTUES. If you'd like to be interviewed or have your class featured, be sure to reach out to us on Twitter or Facebook. I'm Clara Galan, and I'm on Twitter at Miss Clara Galan. And be sure to tune in next week for some more great teacher tips. Have a great afternoon.